Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Babis, and in this video I'll give you an introduction for the full body exercises with dumbbells. This is an educational video and is suitable for beginners, for someone who wants to learn how to do some basic exercise for the full body with dumbbells. Make sure you read the description below for any essential information about these exercises. Make a quick warm-up, some stretches before you execute in practice, and please like and share the video and subscribe in my channel. Ready to start. I have my two dumbbells with me. I have my water in the case I need a hydration, and I'm going to start first by drinking water, which is one of the most important things. I've done my warm-up, so I'm going to start straight away. So make sure you are prepared and warm before you try any of the exercises. So I'm going to start with the first exercise, the squats. Okay, one of the basic exercise someone needs to learn first with a first step in the gym. This is what I use as well as a first exercise in the first order. When I teach someone in the gym or in my PTs, I teach them first the most important exercise, and one of them is the squats. As long as you can do it, is one of the most functional exercises. What I'm saying to everyone is, if you don't practice first with your body weight, don't go straight away to grab the bar, okay? You need to have the flexibility and to know how to move first. So, how you start the squats, okay? So you're gonna start with your body weight first, so you can learn properly how to execute the squats. So we're gonna start with the basic squats, and the basic squat starts with our feet in a shoulder width apart distance. Depends how you walk, okay, how your body type is. You can keep your toes to point forward or slightly diagonally. And how we do squats? Very simple, like we want to sit in a chair. So we technically sit down and stand up, but without sitting down. So we're gonna flex our knees and our hips, and we're gonna move our pelvis backward. We try to inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up. Ideally, our thighs stays in this level. They're parallel with the floor, okay? I don't bend over much, I don't flex my back, and I'm trying to keep my knees over my feet. Depends your body type. If you have long legs, you might need to move your legs slightly over or slightly more forward than your toes, okay? That's fine as long as you don't break your back. And we try to keep the heels, of course, down. Another thing that we need to watch, and you should practice first, is to keep your knees always over your feet. Try not to leave your knees, go inside. Sometimes we tend to do that because we are a bit weak, because we struggle a little bit. So make sure you practice to make first your squat with your body weight, and then you can grab a dumbbell. Okay, so how we use a dumbbell safely. And we're gonna talk about what muscles we use as well. So in the squats, we use our thighs. Technically our quads, a little bit of hamstrings and glutes, okay? But the whole body works because it's a full body movement, especially if you grab a bar, you do your back, and all of these things. So we keep the feet in a shoulder width apart distance. The dumbbell should be between our legs, okay? And we're gonna grab the dumbbell with our back straight, and we're gonna go up. Remember, we extend knees and hips at the same time. And at the end, make sure you don't lock your knees, okay? Another thing you need to watch is when you go down, don't extend first your knees and then your hips. Make sure you go down nice and slow, and you go up and you don't lock your knees. Flex knees and hips and extend them at the same time. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Of course, you can build up your range of motion and start with a less range if you want first, and then go a little bit deeper. Nice and easy. So this is the squats, and one of the safe ways to learn how to do the squats. First with body weight, and then by picking up a dumbbell. And we need to keep the dumbbell between our legs as close as we can in the center of our body, so we're going to have a less stress in our low back and less newtons. And the reason that we keep a soft knees and hips is because when we keep our legs locked in every exercise we do when we stand, is like we take off our suspensions from the car, for example. The soft knees and hips takes all of the effort down on the ground, and we have less newtons in our low back. So make sure you always have soft knees and hips. Now we're gonna do the plie squats, the sumo squats, call them however you like. So in this version of squats, we work a lot our adductors, okay? So we work our abductors and adductors, okay? And we work our glutes as well, and of course our quads. So the dumbbell stays between our legs again. The legs go a little bit wider than the shoulder width apart distance, and toes technically should point diagonally. Dumbbell stay again between our legs. We grab the dumbbell and we go up and down the same way by inhale and exhale. Make sure you're not straight and you raise your heels. Keep your balance, move your pelvis slightly backward and bring it up, and don't lock your knees. Inhale and exhale. So this is a nice variation of squats, and of course plie squats fits very well. They're more comfortable to execute, specifically if someone have long legs. For tall people, for example, it's much easier, or for someone who have a little bit more stiff hips. Makes it a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more easy. So this is another version of squats, and you work a little bit more your glutes and your adductors. So we've seen the squats and we've seen the plie squats as well. Normal squats, plie squats. Now we're going to move to do some exercises for the upper body. So I'm going to start with a chest press, and in the chest press I'm going to use these two dumbbells. We're going to make an open chest press and a closed chest press. I'm going to put my towel down. I have my dumbbells beside me. We're not taking the dumbbells the time that we lie down. It's a totally different execution and way how you're going to pick up your dumbbells when you do this exercise in a mat or even in the bench. So today we're going to see how to use the exercise, how to use the dumbbells to do a chest press in the mat. So we keep our back nice and stable, flat. We pick up the dumbbells. We raise them over our shoulders. Make sure your shoulders are not going up close to your ears. Keep them nice and stable. And what we do here, first of all, you see my grip? My thumb is covering the grip. I'm not keeping my thumb with the other finger. So I'm locking my grip, okay? I'm not flexing and do these things that you see in the videos. Okay, it's very high risk. There is a high risk to lose the grip and lose a dumbbell and fall over us. We don't want that. So we're gonna flex our elbows and we're gonna open our dumbbells, okay, parallel with our chest. Inhale the way down, exhale the way up. And this exercise is very good for our pectorals. And of course, with the chest press, we work a little bit of tricep, a little bit of shoulder as well. Inhale the way down, exhale the way up. Same, in this exercise, we don't lock our elbows. We keep our elbows soft at the end. Make sure you inhale the way down, exhale the way up. And when you go down, try to open a little bit more your arms and make sure your wrists, okay, your palms grip, the dumbbells are over your elbows. So don't leave the dumbbells to fall and move closer to your chest. Keep them a little bit more open and push up. So this is a great exercise for the pectorals because the pectorals do adduction of the arm, sorry, and of course the extension of the elbow is a tricep that works. So that was the open chest press. We're going to make the closed chest press as well, which targets a little bit more the central part of the chest, the front delt, okay, the front delt head and our tricep. So the closed chest press, we keep the dumbbells over our shoulders, we lower and we bring it up. So this is more similar how we're going to move the dumbbells with a chest press, the bench press actually with a barbell. We move the dumbbells slightly more closer to our belly and then we bring it up over our shoulders. Well, not exactly to our belly, but we keep our elbows 90 degrees and then we push up over our shoulders. Inhale the way down, exhale the way up. You can make the same exercise with another variation by keep the dumbbells together, okay? Or you can keep the dumbbells over your elbows. And this is a closed chest press, a little bit more comfortable for someone who have a bit dodgy shoulder. You might feel a bit crunchy, you might feel sore. So you can execute the closed chest press a little bit more safe for the shoulder. And of course, we target a little bit more our tricep with this version of the chest press. So now, we've seen how to do safely and how we're going to execute the chest press. Now we're going to move to train the other muscle that is in our back. We're going to train our back now. So we're going to do two exercises. We're going to see the single row and the double row. Single row. So starting from a single row, you need to take this position, 1 foot from one in the back. We're going to grab the dumbbell. We're going to use our leg, our front thigh, as a support, or you can even put your hands over a bench or somewhere to support your back. So we're going to hold one dumbbell in our side. Make sure you're not crunching your back. You keep your posture nice and stable. You support your back by touching with the other arm. You don't use your thigh. And there are so many versions you can do the exercise. One is just to keep the dumbbell parallel with you and pull back. Make sure you don't pull upward, okay? You stress a lot your neck. So make sure you pull back and you keep the elbow in a 90 degrees flexion. Give a nice squeeze, rise your shoulder, but backward, okay? Not to your ears. Pull back and release. If you want to feel a little bit more your back, you can keep your palm to point backward, and in the way up, you twist it to point to your torso. Inhale down, exhale up. You can even stretch a little bit more and even twist a little bit more. Depends how you feel your back. And of course, you work the other side as well. And the lower you go, the more back you work. Inhale and exhale, and our lats as well. Make sure you inhale and you exhale, and try to pull back and up, not just upward, okay? So inhale the way down, exhale the way up. This is one of the best exercises for someone who is beginner to build up the strength of the back and trying to, work out without any stress in the back and work your lats. Another version is a double row. This is a little bit more advanced exercise, but if you can do this even from your first steps in the gym, that's fine. There are some versions here as well. So you use 2 dumbbells, of course, and you keep your dumbbells in front of your thighs with your palms to point to your thighs. So you can do one version to lower, pull, release, and rise, or you can even stay down and pull back and keep it consistent. Do your reps and then you can relax. Depends how you feel your back, okay? So no stress. We keep our palms to point to our thighs. We pull back, and you can do, of course, a close row with our dumbbells parallel with our torso, or an open row to open a little bit more your elbows, and don't rise them again upward, rise them back and upward. So you can squeeze and engage your back with a more safe way and with a better way to activate your muscle. So you can work at different degrees of your back and different parts, okay? So that was the exercises, the 2 basic exercises you can do for your back, and now we're gonna move on to the next one. So for exercise, we're gonna see 2 exercises for shoulders. Make sure your shoulders are healthy and you can execute them nice and safely. We're gonna start with a shoulder abduction, the delt flies, which is a great exercise to target the medial delt. So you grab the dumbbells, okay, nice and stable. You keep your feet in a shoulder width apart distance. Remember, soft knees and hips. We keep our dumbbells in the side, and we rise upward and we lower. Make sure here you don't rise your shoulders upward to stretch your neck, upward to your ears, okay? Keep your shoulders stable and make sure you rise the dumbbells till 90 degrees. Over that level, we use different muscles and we stress a little bit the neck, so we don't want that. Inhale, inhale down, exhale up. And with this exercise, we target our medial delts, okay? Make sure you don't flex your wrist. Same for the row, same for everything. And you rise upward nice and stable without moving front and back and sitting. That's not a good execution, okay? We try to execute the exercise with the best form we can to activate the muscle with the most safe and best and effective method we can. So that was the delt flies, the delt abductions. You can do another exercise with that. You can do with dumbbells the front delt flexion. You can do an alternate, okay? Right and left with the thumbs up. Inhale down, exhale up. You can even keep your palms down and work with a different way in different parts of your delts. Inhale, exhale. I'll show you by the side. This is a great exercise for the front delt and our arm. Inhale and exhale. Another great exercise to do when you go to the gym and try to do some dumbbells, okay? So now we move on to the next exercise. Now we go to train our arms. I'm gonna show you 2 basic exercises for the bicep now. So the bicep muscle, the bicep brachialis, what it does, the bicep is flexing the elbow, twisting the forearm, and participate a little bit in the shoulder flexion, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make an alternative bicep curls with twist. Make sure you have soft knees and hips, shoulder width apart distance legs, and we flex and twist the dumbbell nice and stable. Make sure you don't move the elbow back like that because we're sitting, and also don't bouncing and losing your form. Inhale, exhale, nice and stable. And if you want to target a little bit more the attachment in the top, you can move your elbow slightly more forward and make a light flexion, no more than 30 degrees, okay? Inhale, exhale. This is the bicep curl. When we flex, at the same time we twist, we do the supination of the forearm, so we can have the maximum activation. Now, the next exercise is the hammer bicep curl, another variation for a biceps, which targets more the brachialis muscle, which is under the bicep, to give a nice support. This muscle do more the flexion. It works 100% the flexion of the elbow. And with this exercise, we work also the brachioradialis, which is the top exercise for that. And it's this muscle that gives a nice definition, a nice triangle in our arms. So how we do the hammer bicep? The hammer bicep, we don't twist. We start with our palms parallel with our thighs. And we flex the elbow and bring it up. 1 and 2. And I'll give you by the side so you can see. 1, 2. We don't need to move the elbow here, okay, because the attachment of the brachialis stays in the arm, doesn't go to the shoulder like the bicep. So this is the hammer one. So it's good to work different variations if you want to build up your muscles and to give a better definition for your full body, of course. So next exercise, the antagonist, the tricep. You can either do it overhead or even lying down. I'll give you two options. In case you're not flexible enough to keep your arms overhead and your back nice and supported. So if you see yourself extend your back and losing your form, or you can't raise your arms, work with corrective exercise to build up your flexibility first and then go for overhead and do the next one. If you're okay with your mobility, try this one. So in this one with overhead, you can use a single dumbbell or even two. I'll show you with a single. So make sure you activate your core, soft knees and hips. You hold the dumbbell behind your back and overhead, you lower, you rise. Inhale and exhale. Nice and stable. And again, watch your head and watch your back. You can make a single one with different sides. But first, make sure you can maintain your low back nice and stable with your arms overhead. So if you can't do that, or if you want even to work something different, you can do the tricep extension from a lying position. So this one I'm going to show you just after that. So we put the dumbbell just beside us, and we're going to lie down nice and stable. We're going to grab the dumbbells, and we're going to keep them over our face, over our shoulders. We lower, nice and stable, and we rise. Again, soft elbows at the end. Inhale the way down, exhale the way up. Tricep have three heads. This version works the external and the internal head of the tricep. If we want to work the long head, okay, we need to move slightly more backward behind our head. So inhale down, exhale up. So that works a little bit more the long head. If you inhale down and you exhale up. So remember, if you want to work the long head which stuck in the scapula, you move the dumbbells behind in the way down, behind your head, and you extend. Same for the bar with the AC bar. If you want to work the external or the internal head, you move them beside your head, not behind. Of course, you can do the same exercise by keeping the dumbbell, a single one, with a safe way. Again, the bar over our head or behind our head. So these were two exercises working with a different way. Our tricep depends, again, your flexibility. So we've seen pretty much all of the exercise we had to do today, and we're gonna move to do some core exercise. Of course, we can't cover all of the exercise, guys, that you can do, but in this video, we focus the most basic exercise that I would advise you to do as a beginner if you're home or if you're exercising in the gym. So the next exercise is the plank and front lunges. With a plank, you need to watch your hands. If you have any pressure in your wrist, you can choose the punch grip with the thumbs back, covering, and we stay there. If you're okay with your hands, that's fine. If both doesn't fit you, make sure you keep your elbows down. For the legs, you have two options. One, to keep your knees down, or to keep your knees up. It's up to you. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a front tap. Even if you're down, you can make the side one, or if you're up, you can make a tap like that. So we work the front abdominals and the obliques and all of the ab rotators. So the point here is not to twist. So we stay stable, we push our shoulders up. You can open more your legs if you want to be more stable, okay? And make sure your hands are under your shoulders. So we inhale and we exhale. We're not twisting, that's wrong. So make sure you're stable. Inhale, exhale, okay? You can do the same exercise with your knees. So this is a great exercise for someone to work. And even if you don't want to flex your spine for any reason, you still work your abs very well, your obliques, your ab rotators, and gives you this stability and strength for your core. Another exercise to do, and this is the last one, is the lateral crawl. The lateral crawl is Technically, you lift is a movement from one side to another and you stay stable. You can do the lateral crawl from a plank and move the dumbbell from one side to another without twisting, or you can do the classic one by keeping a table plank position with your hands under your shoulder and your knees under your hips. So we rise the knees and we move the dumbbell from one side to another. Make sure you use the opposite arm through the other arm and you transfer the dumbbell from one side to another. Again, you can do this variation by keeping your knees down. Just make sure you choose the right variation for you. You don't need to execute everything. Everyone starts from somewhere. The thing is just to start. This is what is important. And in this exercise, again, you target and you work your abdominals and your obliques. It's a great exercise to work nice and stable. So these were the exercise of our today's induction. I hope you had some fun. It's a great exercise to do, even if you exercise home, even in the gym. I hope you had some fun. Please comment below for any queries. If you have, like and share the video. I hope you subscribe my channel. And until the next video, stay strong, stay active, healthy, and always have fun, guys. See you later.